Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. And then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective company. We've been following a certain arc here at the Comicstorian channel, namely the one of Damian Wayne's death, resurrection, and how he suddenly got superpowers. Well, it's time for us to finish that one up. When we last left off, Damian was revived and he was granted these superpowers. If you want to know what happened there, we'll link both previous videos right now. It's the night. Time to patrol. And Bruce Wayne is fast asleep. But Damian has been granted superpowers and is currently excited to get out there and patrol with them. So he's standing over his father, just waiting for him to wake up. This is going to be great. Things begin quickly with Damian just walking into bullets as he walks right up to criminals and crushes their guns. He then turns back to Batman. "I'm flying home," and he takes off. But Batman grabs Damian by his bootlaces and tells him, "Feet on the ground." As father and son drive back to the Batcave, Damian gets a pout on his face. "I didn't ask for these powers. It's like you're punishing me for having them." Batman doesn't even take his eyes off the road. "You need to learn about risk and unnecessary risk. Guess which one you keep choosing." That night, another nightmare wakes Damian from his sleep. His dead grandfather, his dead mother, all of those clones of him that he had to kill. Why isn't he dead? A scared young boy waking from a nightmare with powers can be hazardous to the house, as Damian flies through the ceiling and into Alfred's floor. He then walks out of the room and into the night air as Alfred sips his tea. He beat his mother Talia, and while he's supposed to be dead, he isn't. Why? So he takes off into the sky again to try and sort the whole thing out himself, get a breath of fresh air. At first, Batman wants to track him, but Alfred suggests that they give the young lad some time. Let him just think it out for himself. So he rockets at speeds faster than anyone knew he could even go, and he flies straight to his mother's lab where she tinkered with his DNA and she created his clone brothers and him. Using his strength, he tears apart the lab with his bare hands. What made him special? Why is he the one test tube child that got to live and got to go with Batman? But his work isn't done. Damian swims straight down to Atlantis, where Aquaman is keeping the last remaining Damian Wayne clones. Aquaman gives the experiments to Damian as a gesture of goodwill, and Damian swims straight back to the surface into a deserted island, where he sets all of his twisted brothers free. They didn't want this. He didn't want this. But at least they can help each other. The next thing he does is return back to Gotham, and at top speed, he picks up every member of the Batman Rogue Gallery who isn't already in jail. He ties them up and he flies straight up into the atmosphere where he tells them, things have changed, and they need to tell the rest of crime in Gotham. But just as the criminals are truly beginning to sweat, his powers finally fail him, and he can't hold them any longer. A look of panic strikes his face as he watches them begin to plummet to Earth, and then he sighs a breath of relief as the Batjet flies by and picks them all up. Batman flies right back up to Damian, and he tells him, "You need to land now." Bruce takes Damian on a fishing trip the next day, where he explains the full story of his revival, how he scoured the globe looking for a way to revive him, and how he eventually came across the Chaos Shard, which shared visions of the future with him. Bruce thinks that the shard reacted to his love for Damian, and basically granted a wish by bringing back the boy. As frustrating as the whole situation is for Damian, he understands what his father is going through. At least he tries to. So they test Damian further and further. He has super strength, flight, speed, and expanded lung capacity, and he can't feel pain. Once it's all said and done, Batman makes a quick trip up to the Justice League Watchtower, and after Damian throws another tantrum because Batman didn't bring him with him, Batman returns and asks him to put the bat signal down so that they can go to the Justice League Tower together. Up in the headquarters of the Justice League, Damian meets Superman and Shazam, and he learns exactly what the Justice League does. They watch everything from their monitors until an alarm goes off. There's a threat on an island near Japan, and it'll take the entire Justice League to stop it. Plus, their newest super friend, Damian. What they find there is a giant robot on a deserted island attacking the wildlife. And after it shocks Shazam, Batman reads that there's not a living being inside, so he makes the call, and he tells everyone to attack it. And Robin, don't hold back, use everything that you've got. Robin begins to swing with all of his might, and he pushes himself farther than ever before. As the fight barrels on, he even learns that he has heat vision, and he teams up with Superman to blast various parts of the robot off. But the robot drops Superman with a superpowered blast, so Shazam takes point, yelling that it'll take more than lightning to drop Shazam. Robin falls in behind him, asking him to get the monster's mouth wide open so that he can blast it with his new heat vision. And with all of his might, Robin uses everything and he fries the robot that not even Superman could drop. He then gets to stand on top of his fallen foe as the Justice League all smiles up at him. He has no problems taking credit, and he thanks the Justice League for their assistance. As he takes off into the night sky to head back home, assuring the Justice League that if they ever need his help again, they just have to ask, Batman turns to Superman and Wonder Woman, and he thanks them for putting on the show. It was the only way to keep Robin out of Gotham and in a contained environment where he could destroy everything to test out his powers. And Superman and Wonder Woman nodded. It's the least that they could do for trying to stop him from going to Apocalypse to save his son. As Batman begins to leave, Superman tells him, just let us know if you need us again. Once Batman and Robin get back to the cave, Robin can't stop smiling and just enjoying himself as he tells the story of his first team-up with Alfred. He got to work with the rest of the Justice League and show them why they needed him, because he's the most epic one. Alfred then takes the boy upstairs where he feeds him a small feast, and Damian passes out. Bruce then carries his son upstairs to his bed, where he tucks him in. But that's when Bruce stumbles on a little pet project that Damian's been working on. A family portrait of the entire Wayne family. Bruce, Richard, Tim, Alfred, and Damian. As Bruce hangs it in the family room, Alfred asks him, did the plan work? Did we burn out Damian's powers? Bruce just looks down. I don't know. I'm sure he expended a hell of a lot of power. But we don't know if he's empty, if he's half full, or if we've not even touched it yet. The next morning, Damian wakes up, and to his surprise, he no longer has any superpowers. No super strength or heat vision, and when he jumped out the window, he discovered he couldn't fly either. Hanging outside of the window, he looks through it and sees Bruce. Father, we have a problem. And Bruce sips his coffee. Obviously. The two of them sit down that evening to discuss the fact that Damian burned up all of his powers in one sitting. And Damian just doesn't understand. Where did they go? Bruce explains that he has no idea himself, honestly. He doesn't even fully know what granted them or where they went. But none of that matters, because it's time for Batman and Robin to head off into the town. As the two of them begin swinging across the city, Damian just asks him, Father, are you okay? And Batman just replies, Of course, why? Because you're smiling, Father. And Batman, continuing to smile, says, I guess I am. As the two of them leap into yet another Batman and Robin adventure. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I know that this was kind of an anticlimactic ending to the entire Damian Wayne dying, coming back, and getting superpowers thing. But sadly, it feels to me like they were just trying to line this up with the relaunch of the Damian book, which is going to be happening after Convergence. And I guess they just didn't want him to have powers during it. Don't forget, we have a gaming variety channel and a list-based channel, both of which you can find the links for in the description down below. And you can also find us on Twitter at Comicstorian and go to our subreddit r/Comicstorian. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next time right here at the Comicstorian channel. I am William Shatner.